it's Guido coming at you with a coffee talk. I forgot to roll the pre-roll because we were chatting.
Yes, we got lost in the chat thing.
Yeah.
The talky thing.
The discussion. Good morning, everybody.
The discussion.
Happy Thanksgiving weekend. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I see sticklers here. Morning salutations to you as well.
Good morning, everybody, from Pilgrim across the other side of the Atlantic, which we didn't really celebrate Thanksgiving, but we appreciate that you guys did. So, I hope you all had a good one. I hope you had a good family one, because I believe that's what it's all about.
Well, you guys were here for the first Thanksgiving. It was kind of your deal.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? Yeah, we shook the hands of the Indians and we got turkeys. Yeah,
it was the Pilgrims, you know. They were sharing
the Pilgrims off the Mayflower.
Does Britain have a autumn festival for the harvest kind of idea of any kind?
Yeah, they have a harvest festival, which it might have been last weekend, to be honest. I'm not sure. It could be this weekend. No, it's definitely November. It's October, November time. Yeah, we have a harvest festival where we have basically everybody piles into the church with food to give away to the needy and the homeless and everything else. And it's the fruits of the summer season comes in, and all the farmers bring stuff, and everybody brings bushels of corn. We're that old-fashioned, bushels of corn.
That's not a bank holiday though?
No, it's not, but it's a church holiday. So,
church, okay.
You can take it, but it's unpaid, so it's not a bank holiday. But it's all about celebrating the goodness of the earth that we produce during the spring and summer.
It's the same thing.
It's all that sort of stuff in it. So
ours is morphed into kind of family, I guess, but it really was originally that kind of idea,
Yeah.
Morning, Gator, Wayne, Randall, Brute. What's happening, guys? Brute spent Thanksgiving shuttling people around in his winged bus.
What a good man.
Yeah.
What a good man. There you go. There's for everybody who's on holiday, there's another guy working, isn't there?
Yeah.
Gotta remember that.
Yep.
It's not holidays.
I would have thought he has enough seniority to avoid those, but I don't know. You'll have to let me know on that one. Let's see what's going on. We got there's a lot going on.
There's loads.
A bunch going on. So of course the holiday season thing has exploded upon us, so to speak. I don't know if I wanted to say it that way, but anyway.
It came early, didn't it? Earlier than we thought. Boom. Sorry, we won't go there anymore.
So anyway,
start again.
It's gonna be awesome. We'll get to all that. We got a video out, so we know who the star is. We might as well just say it. Jason Statham. Yeah. Remember when I said the last guy, Vinny or whatever, was Walmart idiot, Jason Statham?
Yes, you did.
They eased us into it. They're like, last year we're gonna give you the fake Jason Statham, and then this year we're gonna deliver actual Jason Statham, and we're gonna watch the video because I have to be honest. I thought the video was awesome.
I did. Do you know it was the first time I thought, Wargaming, you've excelled yourself. You've absolutely excelled yourself.
Yeah.
It's proper. It's real. It's watchable. Like the other crap that they put out.
Yeah, I mean, on occasion there was good bits of the old ones here and there, kind of idea.
Yeah.
I thought this one was just absolutely fantastic, start to finish. I didn't even notice there's some cameos. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
There's cameos and there's some Easter eggs in there as well, which we'll get to again.
Yeah, some of the CRs or whatever the big guys. Some of the big guys are in there. At least 3, maybe 4.
Yeah.
At
least those 2, and I saw another one as well on top.
Quickie's in there.
Yeah, he is.
Quickie.
He had a flamethrower in his hand.
Yeah, Quickie, Skill.
Dacky.
Dacky.
Yeah.
Was doing the snow.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
And is Dacky the one that never gets seen?
Oh no, he was. Yeah, he was the one that was. He was stood up. Doing something. It was like not waving a flag. He was doing something.
He was doing the snow.
Oh, was he? Oh, that was it. Yeah.
But who's the guy that you never see? He's always got his back. It's always his back.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Oh,
Dez. Some people are saying one of the guys was Dez because it was his back or something. But I don't know if that's true. I don't know if Dez is actually on or not. But anyway, I thought that was pretty clever. But anyway, the writing and the way they did it. And that was funny. Yeah. It didn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah.
We'll watch it later.
I think I actually emphasised with the poor director because I mean, that's
Yeah.
how I would react. I'd go into a truck and bang my head against the truck door. I really would.
That's funny. Yeah, I missed all the cameos the first time I watched it. I just wasn't really paying attention to it, but once you went through, you could see it. Pilgrim's on a 3-stream streak.
I don't believe. I watch this every week, and I get a 3-stream streak. I don't know what's happening.
Well, you missed. Yeah, that's only because weren't on. You know what I mean? You might watch it.
Oh, all right.
You might watch them all, but you're not on all of them because if we're not there, then it breaks the streak.
It breaks the streak.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. All right.
All right, so we'll get to that stuff later on, but channel news wise, I finished up the Staghound and the Lorraine 50T. I almost finished up 50% in the Lorraine. I'm only a battle or two below. I had a nice streak, a surge, and I got above 50, and then last 2 battles were terrible. But I got better at it. And then the Staghound was one of those tier 6s that was sitting near 100 battles because I maxed out the battle pass points. So I just finished it up, and I still like it. I might even have one more video of both of those just to cap off the 100 battles on those. So I finished up those, played a little bit more Mech Warrior 5 Clans, which is I'm having a hard time really getting into.
Into it, yeah.
Yeah, the writing is I don't know. The more I deal with the video game industry and war game-ish things, although it's Mech Warriors or whatever, the less interested I am in the silly writing, I guess.
Yeah.
It's cringeworthy a lot of times.
Well, it's take the storyline and do something else with it. Just let me play the game, I think.
Yeah.
I think I've gone off. I mean, ever since Final Fantasy and stuff like that, I've gone off storylines on games. Really, it's just it doesn't add anything to me anymore. I guess it does for other people, but I'm not really. I couldn't be bothered about the backstory. I just want to play the game, and I know part of the game is the backstory, but it doesn't float my boat these days.
I might
not entertained.
I might not be entertained, Wayne. I have to be honest because I kind of judge games by how I just go back and keep playing it, right? I mean, that sounds stupid. It's like the most obvious thing of all time, right?
Yeah.
But it's true. If it doesn't make me, if I don't sit down or if I'm not thinking about going, man, I can't wait to go play another mission or play an hour or whatever, I almost go, man, I'm going to try to slog through some more of this.
Yeah.
The banter between the Mech Warriors is insipid and stupid. Yeah. The concept of the clans is completely overdone. They're just like cartoon they're caricatures of I don't know what they're trying to do. Whether they're supposed to be fascists.
It's the cliche,
I don't.
Cliched comments that are made. And
I don't. Yeah.
It's inane babble, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what. It's there, but to be honest, I don't listen to a lot of it because I just tune it out. I'll be driving the mech shooting stuff, and they're babbling. I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? I haven't heard a damn thing they've said because it's just they never shut up. So what's the point of listening to all this stupid? No. And it's always commentary on like the other side and how they don't have any honor. And I don't know if Mech Warrior Clans, they're trying to make these guys fascists or the other guy. I don't even know. Like it's so dumb. I can't even. Yeah. I don't know.
It's very. A lot of these games are, and I'm not saying it's all because the Japanese make games and all that shit, but it's all based on this, a lot of these games where it's like a samurai thing where the enemy doesn't have honor and, they're not good and we're all good and we have honor, we're upstanding. And I'm like, it's just bullshit. You're just people with guns. Just go off and do your thing. You know what I mean?
Well, to be honest, I'd rather have that cut and dry than this sort of nebulous gray area stuff where they're trying to inject some kind of ideology of the real world ideology stuff,
Yeah.
General chat, exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, I am slogging through a little more of that. I'm hoping it kind of catches on.
Is Loblo playing with you? Because he's got that download. He was saying the other day that he's playing a lot of it.
No, I haven't talked to Loblo for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think you can co-op on that, so that might be kind of interesting. Okay. So far, I haven't found. What I always liked about the Mech Warrior stuff is they would have these big campaigns where you had your own little band.
Yeah.
And you had more it wasn't so on rails. You could kind of move around the star systems and all this stuff.
A little bit open, not quite open.
Yeah, this is very much on rails. Like which I guess on the one hand is kind of interesting because you are a warrior in this clan and you kind of do what you're told. You're not the general, right? You're one of the you run one of the mech stars they call them.
Yeah.
I'll keep going. We'll see what happens with that. Still playing a bunch of Panzer General or Panzer Corps 2.
Yeah.
Trying to go through all the different missions and possibilities. I'm getting good enough that I can actually play the base game without cheating as much.
Without cheating.
Yeah, well, giving myself as much prestige as I want, just so I can keep repairing my units that get killed.
So when you play a game, do you shortcut it to your desktop and just keep it there, or do you just keep the current games?
Well, if you run
all your games,
if you run stuff off Steam, that's what's great about Steam is it's in your library, so it doesn't have to be loaded on your computer. Then you can delete it and put if you have space issues, then you can kind of work it that way. That's what I do there, and it will put an icon on your desktop if you want, or you can go through Steam and start it through Steam. Either way, if it's a Steam game through Steam, if you click on your icon, Steam opens up anyway.
Steam opens anyway,
yeah. So some of your background memory and stuff is going to be soaked up by Steam running and all that crap. But this one is only like 5 gig. It's quite a small game in terms of the world out there of 80 gig games. In fact, I had to delete it and reload it because I had a weird bug. I noticed I noticed it sort of. I was halfway through a mission. I did a reload or something, and then I'm like, this is weird because it feels like these units aren't attacking me. They're not doing anything anymore. So I found them, and sometimes it's got weird trigger points. There are known issues where sometimes if you do it in a certain order, it won't trigger the enemy units to move because they're all on the board. It's just where you get to certain spots, then they'll come after you. It's just the way they do it because they don't appear. They're everything that's, as far as I can tell anyway, unless the AI buys a unit, but it doesn't en masse just drop units on the map. They're all around the edges or in place, so they're basically on the map more or less.
Yeah.
But these just seem to be sitting there, and if I attack them, they'd attack back or defend. But they never moved.
You can walk past them. You can get past them.
Probably could, yeah. But I'm like, that was weird. And then when I got to the very next mission, it was very apparent they weren't moving because I played that mission several times, and it's a defensive one. And you hit play, and the shit just starts coming at you, airplanes, and they're pushing up the roads. It's Sicily, I think. So so it's quite a defensive struggle. They're like, there's a lot of them. They're coming at you. I'm like, nothing. And after turn 5, I'm like, they're not moving, are they? So I started sending airplanes out and finding them. I'm like, oh yeah, they're just sitting there. Wow. So then I got on forum, started looking around, like, oh yeah, that's a known bug. The only fix is that this is a long story for what I did, is to delete the game and reload, and it worked. And what's cool about the modern games is generally all your saved games and settings are saved in your profile. So if you delete a game and come back, all that shit's still there, unless you specifically tell it, go after that stuff and delete it. Which sometimes I had to do because that's where the bug lives in the actual saved game file. But anyway, it was because it's relatively small. Hell, it was like a 2-minute event to download like 5 gig of game, and I'm right back up. That's pretty cool, actually. Right,
that's not too bad. I mean, I understand what you're saying about that little bug because with DayZ, for example, you can get to a point in the map where you can actually see the zombies spawning from the ground.
Oh, yeah.
You've triggered them. You've triggered them as you've gone through a certain point.
Right.
You see a little black cloud, and then the zombie appears. You're like, and then there's about 500 of them. You're like, ah! You thought there was nobody there. You know what I mean? Which is like, I thought it was a bug at first because, for me, they would have already been there, but they're not because the computer has to do its thing, doesn't it? The game has to do its thing.
Yeah, it doesn't want to put, what's that, procedural, I think they call it, where it does it when the player or whatever is, or some event has happened. Otherwise, you'd have on big maps 10,000 zombies having to be walking around, and it doesn't want to keep track of all that crap.
No.
Grendel, I've heard Stalker 2. I've heard it has some issues, but that it's actually pretty good. Those are an acquired taste, I think. Chernobyl Stalker, because they're quite I don't know what the word. I don't want to say buggy. They're very eccentric, I guess, maybe.
Right.
But I heard it's a good game, so I don't.
Jimmy K in the house.
I'm not a massive zombie survival game guy. I don't know why. I mean, I liked DayZ for I played it for several months.
Yeah,
I never got good, I would
it's
say.
very predictable, though. It's very predictable.
Is it?
It is now. I think I've got 5,000 hours in it,
Oh,
so
right.
it is very predictable now. The zombies attack only one way. You know, they spawn in given areas. The loot is in given areas. Everything's predictable now. I mean, the only non-predictable game in DayZ is if you go onto a modded server, and the owner of that particular server has modded it to be that way. Then that becomes unpredictable. But the official and the non-modded servers are just, you can get to a good point within a day or two of gaming on that now, where it used to take weeks and weeks to get to a place. So yeah, I like it. I love it. It's my go-to when I'm fed up with World of Tanks or I'm bored. I'll just go and do whatever and just
But you're past that like discovery time, like where where the game is if it's a game that sucks you in and you're in that discovery time, everything's new and different. And you're like, oh, that's cool, or how do I get past this and all that.
Yeah.
But then you're at that point where, like, I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to do. You could start a character from zero in DayZ, and within 2 hours, you'd be living in a castle with a machine gun. And I'd be respawning the 42nd time with somebody hitting me over the head with a lead pipe,
I shouldn't knock it. I don't knock it. I mean, it's a great go-to, but it's not a challenge anymore. That's where it's at. And the challenge is with the modded servers. But the trouble is with modded servers is that they tend to go overboard with the mods.
Right.
So you've got like crazy aliens, or you've got completely impossible scenarios which you can't complete,
Yeah.
Or and so I mean, there's one that is hardcore on the mouse, which is a sort of Alaskan type map, and they've made it so hard that within 30 seconds, if you don't do certain actions, you're dead from the cold. So you've got to go and find, the first thing you've got to do, apart from fighting zombies and everything else and get food, you've got to go and how do you get a fire going when there's a blizzard blazing and everything, you know what I mean? So, and they make it so difficult. I mean, on that particular map, I must have respawned 8 or 9 times before I figured it out, so that was a good challenge. But then it becomes all samey again, because there's only so much you can do.
Right. Once you learn when in a game like that, once you learn the mechanisms for how to do the thing, then you know how to do the thing.
That's it. Yeah. Nothing changes on that level.
Yeah. So you're right though. So people just the people on the server just make stuff harder or fiddlier.
Yeah.
It's not different necessarily. It's just more pain in the ass.
Just more awkward. Yeah, exactly. Which is why I like World of Tanks, Guido, because it is almost, I wouldn't say it's an independent thing, but it is an independent thing. It's a choice that I make where to take my tank. It's a choice where to aim. It's a choice who to go with.
Because there's 30 humans making...
Yeah.
The gamut from inane stupidity to brilliance.
Absolutely.
And then sometimes the same person running that gamut within 30 seconds. You know what I mean? It's just that's why it's interesting, because it's PvP, and this is something we've talked about a bunch, and I think it's why all the guys in chat are probably still around as well. It's not first person shooter Call of Duty pixel sniping, although there's an element to that, but the stuff we complain about the most, the randomness, the stupid players, the broken tanks, all that stuff gets chucked into a big pot, and it makes an interesting stew, good and bad.
Yeah. I mean, every game is a challenge. It's not. I mean, with a very, very rare exception where you get a 15-1 rollover, you can see it coming from the beginning.
Even those can be interesting.
99% of the time. Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't want those all the time.
The survival of that. Yeah.
Yeah, if you take it at face value.
Yeah.
Even if you're in the midst of the 15-1, you're on the losing side. How much damage can you get out of it? Or what did that team do that killed you so fast? What did you do that killed you so fast? What was the combo of those two things? You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
I think that's why people keep. In my opinion, it's really has a very unique, recipe, I would say, for a video game.
Yes. Yeah. Which is why it's lasted this long, because it would have been dead in the water had it not had that.
Yeah.
Morning, huzzahs.
I would agree with that, Grendel. They're right, and even the things you would call an exploit are more or less available to everybody.
Yeah.
It's annoying that there's overpowered tanks, but overpowered is relative to a few percentage points, right? Because we all get up in arms like, oh my gosh, that tank has a global 55% win rate. It's completely broken. You're like, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, that's.
But it's only broken in the hands of good to very good players.
Yeah.
If you've got an overpowered tank and you're a muppet, you'll still be a muppet, because I've seen 279 earlies roll across open ground, getting absolutely crucified. Because two people had 279 earlies, however they got them. I'm not saying they cheated.
Pilgrim and some other guy.
They just rolled out over an open field thinking they were indestructible. That didn't work, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if it's the thing you need to look at on overpowered tanks is if you get a win rate differential across the board that's significant, say two or above. If you're in the 3 or 4% win rate differential for everybody, then it's just plain old overpowered. But even that, that's. You get into a match, there might be 1 or 2 of those on each side. You know what I mean? So it is annoying to always run into the damn Barasks, but at the same time, it's not a team of 10 Barasks or 5 or whatever.
No, it's not.
It can be 2 or 3, which can be annoying.
Yeah,
but usually it's
enough.
usually it's 1 each side, or maybe 2 each side. Something like that.
I mean, when World of Tanks do their, they do all their surveys, and they send you not a survey, how well you've done this year sort of.
Yeah.
They send you. They always say your nemesis tank, and my nemesis is the Barask.
So I think it's a lot of people's, because it just gets played that much.
Yeah.
That may have a lot more to do with how much it's played than how good or bad you are. All right, let's see. This old house, man. We've been. All right, so we have tile in. We have.
Nice.
The cabinets are in the house. About a third of them are set. They're not quite all screwed in, although I think the refrigerator big conglomeration part is in. They're going to come back theoretically Monday and Tuesday and more or less finish that, but I still have to have walls done, painted. I still have to have the electricals roughed in, but it needs to be finished. The plumbing needs to be done.
Right.
We've got to get the fixtures. So a lot of the detail stuff, we got the crown molding, the baseboards, blah blah blah. But progress. It starts. The sink's here.
And everything. Your sink's here, right?
It's not in. It's sitting in the living room. We got boxes all over in the living room.
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
Yeah. So but cool. It's cool because now we can walk through it again. So I've got tiling. It looks starting to look like a kitchen again, which is cool.
Cool.
The next real arse pain, other than the finishing of the kitchen, is the demo of the bathroom. That's the next big step, and that's going to be an unholy mess.
Is there any hidden? Well, you wouldn't know because they're hidden. But is there any hidden disasters?
So far, that I don't know.
Okay.
There wasn't in the kitchen necessarily. There was a couple surprises.
Touching wood for you.
Yeah, there was a couple. I wouldn't say bad surprises. So that's why I'm like holding my breath, because the bathroom's where the real stupid could be.
Yeah.
We did find an old sink. There was a pipe. I talked about it probably on a stream months ago, but when we were doing the whole sewer thing, there was a pipe that came straight from the kitchen underneath it's a slab now for the porch. Screened-in porch. And it came out from under that, straight from the house, more or less pointed right at the kitchen, and then it went into the top of a plastic pipe. And it was a weird situation, but it was the old galvanized steel. Yeah. But it clearly had been deleted, because when the plumber came, he said, I turned everything on in the house. Nothing comes through this pipe, so it must be a deleted pipe. Well, we found it. The sink used to be on the back wall, looking out into the screen room. The back door has like 3 steps down, and then it's onto the slab because the rest of the house is raised. But you can see where that sink was, because when we pulled the floor up, there was a drain right there, and that thing went straight under the house and straight. So we kind of figured that, but we
it's nice to have confirmation of that, though, isn't it? You sort of figured out that most kitchen sinks face out into the backyard. Most kitchen, because I mean, I'm not being misogynistic, but the little lady likes to stand at the sink looking out the window. Back in the day, not now.
I think that's exactly right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think, but it's nice to have the confirmation of your thoughts, isn't it?
The kitchen may have been smaller back in the day too. That may have been
Right,
actually
yeah,
2 rooms or something like that. I'm not sure.
Right.
But so that's going along.
Good.
Not much
Good.
else to report on that.
More possibly finished before Christmas, or does it look like it's slipped?
I think I'm fairly I'm fairly confident we will have the kitchen at least functional, if not fully up and fully done.
Right. Okay.
I'm not convinced the bathroom will be totally finished by then.
Right.
But we have 3 weeks. We have 3 full weeks.
Yeah.
So we're about 3 full weeks into it. We have 3 full weeks.
Are they 7 days, these guys, or 5-day weeks?
Mostly 5. Although the tile guys did come yesterday on Saturday to kind of finish some stuff up. They're good dudes. I've been here a lot, which has been good.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty good at creating a rapport with the guys and chatting with them and make sure they got water and let them use the bathroom in your house and do keep them
do all the normal things.
Treat them like a damn human being and stuff, and that usually pays dividends.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the very least, maybe they care a little more. And I'm not saying they don't. If they're professional, they're going to do as good a job as they can. But if you treat them right, you might
You get that little extra.
Yeah.
You get that little extra. Yeah, I had that when I had the backyard done, the paving slabs. We gave the lads bacon butties. I don't know what you guys call them. Bread rolls with bacon. Yeah. We gave them bacon butties every morning for breakfast. And they came back and did the extra mile for us, you know what I mean?
Right.
They did a lot of finishing off that was going to be left for me to do. They said, no, they'll do it free of charge. So it's like,
and none of that, I don't do any of that in a cynical way, like, I'm going to get something out of these guys.
No,
it's
just because you want to do it, don't you?
That,
it's respect, isn't it?
It is. And it's mostly just that, not that I want them to do extra, it's just that if something needs to be done in a certain way to get it done right, I'm hoping that by treating them well, they'll do it the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you make that rapport with people, and they feel like it's a good thing to do whatever it is that they do. You know what I mean? And
well, it is. You also got to be genuine, man. Because I'm always interested. Yeah. I'm that homeowner that wants to watch some of it and see how it's done because I don't know. You know what I mean? Which is annoying to them sometimes because they're in there honking on stuff. Having the homeowner stand over your back. So I try to limit that amount that I'm not in there chilly. Because I'd go in on occasion and ask them, hey, what about that or that? And they're like, oh, you do this, that, and the other. I'm like, oh, that's why you're the professional. Okay, I'll get out of your way.
Yeah.
Plumber on a bathroom repair, old fashioned, don't like PEX. I want soldered copper to match the rest. I know. Well, Odd Dog, here's the thing, and I hate to say it, but let's all be realistic. How long are us older fellas going to be around? You're coming now. You may go for posterity's sake or someone else who might have the house next. And I'm not saying get cheap stuff, but at the end of the day, some of the things we're doing to our houses, by the time it's a problem, you're not a problem.
No. I have that attitude about the planet, actually. When people say to me, plant a tree, save the world, I'm like, I'll be dead before the world explodes. But, what about your grandchildren? I won't be alive to worry about it, will I?
I always find that interesting. You're destroying the planet. I'm like, no. Planet was here before us. It'll be here after us, probably.
We'll destroy ourselves.
It doesn't even know we're here, man.
No.
First of all, it's not conscious. So you're what's that thing where you ascribe human emotions to animals or objects? It's got a name, but pareidolia.
Yeah, it's called patheticness.
Yeah, pareidolia, is that it, or is that a disease?
No,
I'm not sure. Yeah, the planet is mad at us. First of all, it doesn't get mad because it doesn't have those feelings or thoughts, and even if it did, it doesn't care. No. You take a bowling ball or the earth is smoother than a bowling ball.
Yes,
a bowling ball or a cue ball has more ridges in height than the earth does. Everything that's on the crust of the earth is, I don't even know if you'd call it a film of scum. It's not even register in the full size of the earth. Every mountain and whatever we've built, it's not even, you can't even see it.
No. No, not in the scale of things.
Yeah.
There you go. Anthropomorphizing.
There you go. Thanks, Obandu.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very true.
Yeah.
Very true. They reckon if all humans died today on the planet, it would only take 30 years for the planet to fully recover from ravages of global warming and all that nonsense. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So within 30 years, the human race would be who? The dinosaurs, or whoever took over the chickens or whatever, would be like, who? What were they?
Yeah. All right, so that's channel news, fellas. I think that's all the news that's fit to print there.
We covered it, didn't we?
Yeah. All right, get it out. Slow and fast.
You seem slower now, isn't it? Yeah, you definitely. You're definitely.
Mine's.
Do you know what that is? You're a policeman going to the scene of the crime, but it's his tea time, his dinner time, and he really doesn't want to go.
Or I'm trying to finish my donut.
That's the one.
In the U.S., it's donuts.
It's going to take forever.
Mine's set at a different frequency than yours. That's what it is.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, pilot.
Yeah. I have to say one thing though. I forgot about this. Do you guys have the new cars with the key fob with all the fancy buttons on it?
Yes.
Why are those so...
You don't even need to put a key in to make it work.
Why are they so expensive?
I don't know. Why have you had to replace one lately?
Oh, dude. I think I went through this. I'll try to give you the Cliff's Notes version. Essentially, we bought the car. It came with one. We brought it home. They said the lady because they had just had it traded in. They said she had the other one, was meant to bring it in, and they'll mail it to us because we went a couple towns over. So fine. They mail it. It doesn't work. It's not the key fob to the car. Or those people had it changed at some point if it was. Either way, it didn't work. Didn't have the right frequency, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whatever. I'll deal with that later. Put it in the thing. 3 or 4 months later, keys lost. The one that worked. Right. So now I don't have a key. So now I'm calling because it's on the weekend. Now I'm calling a key locksmith who deal with that stuff these days. They have all the equipment and shit. And they got plugs. Yeah. It takes like 2 hours. Right? Yeah. I mean, there's a system for it.
Reprogram the
yes,
key
exactly.
Yeah.
And they have to go through authorizations, and they're like the car companies have it all set up to where you can do that. So basically, the dude can steal any car he wants if he has 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know
the slowest car theft in history.
I bet he has the ability to do it faster. But to get an actual key that does it correctly, blah blah blah. So we go through that. I don't know, for like $300 or $400. It was insane. I'm like, great. So now we have a key. So he says, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to have a totally new key, or do you want me to use the same code? So if you find the other key, because if the other key is lost, you don't want to use the same code. Like stolen or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, we think it's in the house somewhere. Just put it on the same code. He's like, okay, I'll do that. So he does that. Well, we find the key. It's all the way in the back of the house under a couch. The freaking cat, I think, had knocked it off the thing and played with it, and it slid under a couch in the back of the house. Because he does that. He'll just start playing with shit, and it'll be wherever he leaves it.
Yeah, it's his toy.
Yeah.
Don't you worry about it.
So I'm like, great. So I go out with it, and it's not working.
Of course it's not. No. Of course it's not.
So then...
That's how it rolls.
And I'm going to be honest. Yes, okay, I know what's going on. So now I have 2 extras. I have one that works. That's the one he did. I have the one they originally had that worked, now doesn't work. I have the one they mailed to me that doesn't work. So I have...
Just said for another car.
I have 3 of these, like $280 key fobs. So I go down to Toyota, because it's a Lexus, and I'm like, hey... can you reprogram this for my car? Right? And they're like, well, not really. What do you mean, not really?
Really?
Yeah. So now I've ordered a 4th key fob from them.
They can't reprogram because they don't want to?
I get, probably.
Good grief.
Yeah.
What a rip-off.
I replaced the battery gator. It's not the battery. Yeah, it's not they're not coded right. The one was never coded right. The one they sent me, the
dodgy one from the previous owner.
Yeah,
it wasn't right.
So either it was theirs and they recoded it, or it was the wrong fob they sent me, which I believe it. But what a pain.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna have 4.
Yeah, 2 of which you can't resell to make any money back anyway.
Yeah.
If you try to put it on Amazon, nobody would buy them.
I may call a locksmith and ask an independent person the question, which is what I probably should have done, but I wanted it to work because I already did the locksmith thing and he porked it away. However that happened, I don't know, but God, what a pain. All right.
Yeah.
Shilling.
Anyway,
Shilling. We were shilling. All right.
Yeah.
So there's not a whole bunch to shill for right now because Christmas is about to start, fellas.
It is. It is. They've gone very light on everything at the moment because they know what's happening themselves, don't they?
So we do have confirmation there's boxes. Not that anybody realistically thought there wasn't.
No.
But oops, that's the wrong thing. I'll figure this out momentarily, guys. Honestly, I think. Where did it go? I don't know. Oh, there we go. All right. But the Commander AF's little video showed the boxes are the same mechanic as last year. It's boxes with stuff. So there you go. We have boxes. What do we have in the store? Precious little, because all of this kicking off on the 6th. So that date was correct. They announced that. So everyone will, on the 6th, as soon as the store comes up, everyone will pile in. It'll be like Christmas Day, like 5-year-olds and 10-year-olds rolling into the tree. Everything will be opened in 5.7 seconds, and then it's all over.
Yeah.
Then you can go back to fighting about your toys, complaining about overpowered tanks.
Yeah. Or just playing with the cardboard box that the tank came in.
And you can get out your calendar and start marking off the days to the next one.
Next one.
On the 6th. So
yes.
Now on the 6th, it'll be more like 384 days till the next Christmas. So it'll be a little over a year. Yeah. So doesn't it feel like
I'm going to leave. I'm going to see the 6th is a Friday. It's a Friday.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm going to leave it until probably Saturday, Sunday before I do anything with it. Just let the craziness get out the way, and then go into it on the weekend. I think because that's when you get your well-deserved reward and all that stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll go those dates. That's all coming up for sure. Leave the fob overnight if the temp drops below 40. The car does not.
Yeah.
That sounds about right, on Doug. Fob too cold. The other thing that the stupid cars do, just to go back to that whole rant, have you guys run into, I don't know what triggers this, but on occasion, the car will not recognize the fob. They'll try to start it. And I don't know if maybe, I have a tendency to sit down, hit the button, and start putting it into gear before it's actually started, because I do it that fast, and sometimes it doesn't start, and I have to put it back in park. I don't know if that's what it is, or it's maybe a little too far away and I press the button too many times, but it will go, sorry, don't recognize the key. And you have to put the key and touch the button, which I don't understand how it knows that. Maybe it's just getting really close is the key here, or what? I don't know what all that's about, but have you run into that kind of thing?
No? Mine isn't like that. Mine's still old school. Well, it's the house general's car. But I've got friends that have had that similar sort of problem where they've had this, it's almost intermittent, or it feels intermittent. Problem, So I think it's probably part of the course, to be honest.
So sometimes it's battery. I don't know. It does that crap. All right. So what are we talking about? I have no idea. Let's talk about these tanks here, though. You can get the G-SOR and the Chrysler K, which is the tank that destroyed the game the first time.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah, it destroyed the game the first time. What was that guy's name that hated that thing so much?
Cabbage, no.
Cabbage Shark.
Cabbage Shark.
Sharknado.
Sharknado. Foch, that was it.
Oh, right. Foch. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. That's it, guys. This is really the whole shill right here, because you probably don't want to be buying anything right now until the boxes come out. The boxes are always the best deal of the year. I have no...
Leave it for 6 days.
Yeah.
Leave it for now.
I have no reason to believe they're not going to be... It may be relative to other years, but it will be the best deal of the year.
Yeah, I think I want to say no, but I think it's going to be slightly diluted than it has been in the past, because that seems to be the trend. of the Christmas boxes. I mean, there is going to be the nice stuff in there, but I think if you remember last year was a little bit disappointing from the year before and the year before and the year before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At one point, I think we hit the pinnacle where people were coming away with tens of thousands of gold and stuff like that. I don't think we're going to be there.
That has been a trend. There was a big sort of nerf probably 4 years ago because it was absolutely insane how good they were. I think the big one was when they changed the rules for duplicates, where you had to have all of the tanks before you got duplicates. That was the big one because you could people would randomly hit the same tank and get a bunch of gold. They fixed that problem. But I think it's held pretty close to what the last 2 or 3 years. So it's still a good deal. It really is.
It is. It is.
Speaking of that, I'll announce again. I am going to do a video for everybody that watches the YouTube stuff, but we will do the Tankers Helping Tankers thing this year again. I'm planning on doing that announcement video on Monday if I get it done today. Basically the same idea, fellas. If you donate money in December after the video, or even now at this point, really, any money donated to my channel through the PayPal deal from now until I do the event, let's call it the 25th. That's the date I'll put out there. That will all go to Tankers Helping Tankers. If I run into the issue where I get cut off from buying stuff, because I've done that in the past, there is a limit as to how much an account. I'll try to work around it through other accounts or some other way if I can. If that becomes an issue, then I will donate whatever's left over to my local Habitat for Humanity. Full disclosure, I'm on the board. There you go. But that's what we'll do with any extra money.
That's a good thing. Good thing.
That goes
all
there.
Good
so
things.
if you guys do, if any of you do that, please give me your name, not your personal name, unless you want that. If you want to just put like Jerry or Fred or whatever, that's fine. But I can use your in-game name or your Twitch name. But who it's from, essentially, however you want that done, and put a note in there that it's for Tankers Helping Tankers, just to remind me. Shouldn't be a problem because really just everything the channel makes up till the 25th I'm going to re-put into boxes. For people then, that's the big part, I'm going to need your suggestions or nominations for people who could use a little pick-me-up.
Yeah.
All right. And that could be people in the clan, no problem. People we game with, whatever. Anybody who you think could use a little holiday cheer, maybe had a tough year or whatever, maybe doesn't have the resources to buy cool stuff in World Tanks or as much cool stuff as they might like, just for a little happiness.
Yeah, and I will do the normal as well, Guido. I'll throw some boxes out to people in the way of raffles or whatever, however you want to do it.
Okay.
So people are watching. You get a chance to win whatever the minimum box level 3, 5 boxes, whatever. I'll do that every time we stream, so that's
cool.
Fine.
Yeah, we'll definitely I'll be doing box giveaways as well on when I stream, when I can get to it. Speaking of streaming, I didn't mention that. We'll see. I don't know. It's chaos right here right now, but if I can, I'll try to get one in. I think Tuesday's my day off, so if it happens, it'll probably be Tuesday. Okay, so I mean that's it for that. Let's go over to the garage because Advent calendar started, fellas, and it's right here.
Yeah.
It's got a little exclamation. So today's the first day. Let's see what we get. I know already because I looked at it, but open them all, how it works. Okay, you want to open them all. Complete the calendar progression to receive additional group gifts, okay? All right, day 1, what do we get? A day of premium, 2 universal booklets, all right. And, that went away, but that's all it. It went too fast.
Did it? No, I got universal booklets ×2, a mission for ×5, an experience earning battle ×3, and a premium day added.
Okay, so yep, premium day, 2 books, and 3 ×5s. All right, cool. So free doodads, Also, this is missions and specials. And I'm watching right now. I think Daki's streaming over here, so I'm hopefully progressing on that, although it doesn't show it happening. Is it not happening yet? Must not have started. Maybe it's later today. I thought it was today that it started. Because there's also Christmas drops Interesting, it's not there. All right, so it must not have started yet. I don't know why. But if you come down here to the, it's below my camera, but the little parachute, then we got the Holiday Ops Festival, so there'll be stuff here, and this is for drops for Twitch. There's a IS-2M, Stare WT, and a 4503. The 4503, by the way, which has been on this list several times. This has been actually a tank that they've given away with tokens for quite a few times. But it's the one worth the most. So if you're doing this, strip it down, sell it, and then get it back for free, then it's 1.3 million, I think, credits you can get out of that. 1600Z, thank you, Obrute. There you go. So that's my recommendation if you're playing that little game. If you're going to get enough tokens, and that's 65 tokens, so there must be missions. That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But if you're going to get the 65, then you can sell your 4503 if you have one, or one of the other two if you have them. The 4503, if you have all three, is the one that's worth the most. But these other two are worth $1 million. That'll get you a few extra credits in there if you want to play that game.
Yeah.
All right. What else here? Mission specials. So 12 days of Tanksmas. It starts on the 6th as well. Those will be the sales. They're like, I don't know. They're sort of.
It'll be tied in with the collab, won't it? 12 days of Tanksmas.
Well, it's going to be, premiums for sale essentially.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever found anything on the 12 days of Tanksmas that I just had to have.
No.
10 Central, 900 in the mountains. Okay, cool. So 12 days of Tanksmas. We've got December 5th will be the well-deserved reward.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't remember which tank it is. I think it's that little German thing. Tier 5 or something like that.
Yeah, Tier 5, isn't it?
Yeah.
The one they advertised earlier on.
Is it I think it's the Panzer 38 thing that has the Panzer 4 turret on it. The Czech.
Something like that,
The Czech hull with the German. I think that's the one.
Yeah.
There will be a new mode, which they didn't really get into, but if you watch Commander AF's video, there's going to be a 3-weekend mode of some kind of, probably like the snowball fight or the ice thing or some combo of that. They called it a new mode, so I don't know if they've modified it or maybe it's a completely brand new mode. I don't know, but there'll be 3 weekends of that going on as well. We'll look at the Jason Statham thing in a minute. Festive Token Store, we covered it. Holiday Ops the 6th. Also, they announced that there'll be giveaways on their social media. So if you're on their Facebook page and Instagram and all that, often they do these, but during Christmas they'll do a lot of them. They'll say, hey, what's your favorite tank that does whatever? You put in your name or that kind of thing. You can end up with a tank. I know people have won that in the past. Thank you, Kulia Pavlovis Techno. Appreciate the follow. Welcome. How you doing? This is Coffee Talk on Sunday. We just we talk about gaming and World of Tanks mostly, but also gaming and other things that old people drinking coffee might talk about.
Yeah, proper. I tell you what, this morning, and I'm thinking, it'll be a different name film when it's screened in the States than it is over here. But it was basically Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, and I can't remember the third guy. But it was 3 old guys who had retired, was living a retired life on their pensions, and their pensions were goobered up by the company that they used to work for, and sort of went on and on. So they decided to rob a bank, and it was the funniest film. It's like you and me, old guys. They would sit around and chew the cud, talk about shit, and then they just decided one day to go and rob a bank, and they got like 2.3 million, but they did it quite well, and the FBI just never caught them. So it was quite funny, but it was it was the first time I'd seen those guys together in a comedy. You know what I mean? So yeah. It was cool. It was a good film.
That reminds me.
The name of it.
That reminds me of a Key and Peele skit where one of them is, I don't know which one is Key and which one's Peele, but one of them is a what is it? Pawn shop owner.
Got you.
Yeah, and the other guy comes in and he's kind of sketchy and he's like, you got any bows? Bows? He's like, yeah, we got bows and hands. Oh, there's the arrows. You got some? Yeah, I got some arrows. Like, he goes, you got any M80s? He's like, no, we don't. We don't. He's like, do you have anything else that might explode on impact? And he's like, sir, I have to ask you, are you planning on are you planning on shooting an arrow with an explosive tied to the end? He's like, no, dude, I'm just thinking, just thinking.
Yeah, defensive. It's for defensive reasons only.
And it gets more and more ridiculous, the stuff he's asked, like armor. And then it's like, well, I got the suit of armor. He's like, well, I just need the top part, So by the time the whole thing goes through, the clerk is like, sir, I have to ask you, are you planning on shooting this arrow across from one building to another, using this grappling hook or whatever, and sliding down into the bank? Using explosives to blow the door off, and then running through the front door with an armor plate, hoping that bullets, that it'll stop the bullets. He's like, no, that's not what I'm doing.
Brilliant.
Key and Peele cracks me up, man. Yeah, that was a good one. All right,
yeah,
I think missions and specials. I think that's it, fellas. There's nothing in the missions themselves. It's really quite bare bones right now because we're waiting for the 6 to kick off. That's pretty much it.
There is, top of the tree, pretty much standard, isn't it? So
yeah,
top of the tree, the WZ, Concept 5 still in there, isn't it?
Alamander, that's true. Get off my lawn, man. Yeah, get off my lawn. All right, so we're gonna move into to subjects du jour, but I'm low on coffee, and I need to take a break anyway. So we're gonna take 5 minutes, fellas. We'll be right back, and we're gonna dive into some of the holiday ops stuff. The 1.7 stuff, the old Jason Statham, which I'm pretty excited about, and we'll see you in 5 minutes.
Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Now in the shadows came a mysterious chap who spoke in a tongue with strange dialect. He offered his help to the mighty Guido to bring some laughter to his love of speedos. To the coffee talk they both came, to bring the message of winning ways to all and sundry and the masses. Yes, that's right, lads and lasses. The damage counts and flexing back will keep you on the right track. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. So in what, if you want to progress, then seek out Guido nonetheless. With his sidekick Pilgrim, he has a message that to win you must be aggressive. The position and place that you must seek, for the winners only, not the weak. The guru speaks, so listen well. His voice rings out like the Liberty Bell, to bring you all to Unicom land, or to die hard trying in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. To the swamplands came the mountain man, to teach his wisdom and pay his due. A man with a name only known to a few. To his followers his words are true. Guido is the man, big and gruff. He used to fly jets, but now he does the tanking stuff. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido.
fellas, we are back. Got my new reloaded coffee. Have you gone back to drink?
What you got today? What is
today? It's called Green Mountain Dark. It's just a dark roast.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Once the kitchen
Green
gets
Mountain roast. Conjures up all sorts, doesn't it? Green Mountain roast. Yeah.
I think once the kitchen gets updated, I might end up buying us a new Keurig that does both the K-cups and has a grinder for fresh ground, so I can get back, or not a grinder, but a thing for fresh ground and a timer. So because I still have some of the fresh ground.
Right.
I like that better, but it's fiddly. This is just easier.
Yeah. The thing is with coffee, and I'm not a great coffee drinker as you guys. I mean, you know, the difference is that it's got to be quick, but it's got to taste nice.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even if you're grinding the beans and everything else, you don't want to be waiting like you do for tea, 25 minutes to drink. You know, you can sit with the pot for 15, 20 minutes, wait for it to stew with a tea. With coffee, you just want it. You want it in your cup, don't you? And get on with it.
I do like espresso. Lord Wolfgard, how you doing?
I've just put it in the clan. There was a lot of clan chat about Christmas, but they obviously didn't realise that we were on coffee talk. So I've just put it in the clan chat.
Okay.
Get your backsides over here and increase the viewing.
True North Starbucks brand coffee with hints of milk chocolate. Nice, Alamander. I like that. I do prefer the Starbucks coffee Keurig cups, even though they're more expensive. I like the taste of those. Their dark roast, can't think of what it is right now, but the dark one is quite good.
Yeah.
I like dark roast. We went to a restaurant here last weekend, I think it was. They do brunch, and they had the French press, the little French press, so they brought that out.
Yeah.
Let it steep, and then when you're ready, you slowly push the. Oh, that was really good coffee. It was. I do love a really good coffee, like especially if you're at a restaurant, and you're having a nice meal, say a brunch or something, breakfast kind of thing. Even in the evening, sometimes I'll have an espresso or something after dinner.
Well, that used a French press. We've got one in the house. I never thought when you came over, if you'd said I would have got some beans in, you could have had that. But when you used to have regimental dinners, so you would have like a 7-course meal and you'd be at the table all night, sort of thing, regimental dinners. But it always ended up at the very end. You used to have a little espresso, I can't remember what they call it, Demitas cup, little Demitas cup, about this big, and that would finish the evening. You'd have a cigar and you'd have your espresso in this little Demitas cup, and that was the end of the evening. That was quite a gentleman's thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah. I do like that for with the dessert. If I'm gonna eat, I'd rarely ever eat dessert going out, but if I do, I'll have the espresso with it or a little coffee or something.
Yeah.
To counter the food coma, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what do we got here? We've got 1.27 is out.
Yeah.
That has some things in it. Let's get this called up here. Has anybody seen the new events that happened?
No. No.
So
I've had the old maps. I've had Himmelsdorf with its event and all that sort of stuff.
Here's Lighthouse crashing down. So we've got Lighthouse.
That's an interesting concept, isn't it? Because that lighthouse, if you were the first light to get up there, as long as you've got support from your team, you pretty much dominated the whole area. Now you can't do that.
Wait a minute. Did they change that map?
Not that I'm aware of it. No, they may have done the gallery shooting.
No, look at this. This is different. The top of this is completely different. The lighthouse. It used to be a windmill. Wait a minute. It was always a lighthouse. But look where it is. It used to be back here.
Yeah. I think you're right.
What am I missing here? Did they change the map also?
I can't
Huh.
No. Maybe they've changed that bit of it just to allow that thing to happen, because otherwise, I think that lighthouse would have toppled over the cliff edge if it wasn't moved.
Well,
that's what they've done. Yeah, in addition to the mounting.
Yeah, so but I mean that's more than just. Excuse me, because this is where you used to drive around. You could hide behind this thing for Artie. Now you can't.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no, you don't hide. I guess you could sort of get in the shadow of the lighthouse, but you could get behind the base of the lighthouse.
That's right, because there was rocks. They've increased the number of rocks around the bottom of the lighthouse. I noticed that.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it goes out any less far, but now the lighthouse is there. All right, so so that was actually a significant change. So that, I'm assuming that means that because these events don't happen every time.
Oh, that's a good point. Oh, Bandu, that's a good point.
So that means the lighthouse is changed on the regular map too.
Yeah, yeah. But you can't get shot from the top now unless.
That's
unless
nice.
Whoever's trying to shoot. Yeah,
Good.
that's better because you can never get round there without getting spanked.
Yep.
Yeah, there is Lord Wolfgod. I think there is that TD sort of area that now has an event as well, isn't there? On the far side of the map, on the
the plane crashes down over here.
Yeah.
I don't know what it does exactly over there. Okay. All right, and then we've got Siegfried gets carpet bombed.
Yeah. Which opens up more avenues.
Yeah.
More avenues to get in and out of the buildings, which is interesting.
And an airplane crashes.
Yeah.
Wait, what just crashed? Was it a bomber or is that actually a...
I don't know. No, that's carpet bombing there going on.
Yeah, it is, but that...
Yeah. Afterwards, yeah, I think it is, isn't it? One of the bombers.
Oh, it's a B-17. Okay.
Yeah.
Well-deserved reward.
See you later. 8 Hussars is going. Have a good week.
See you, man. You have a good weekend, too. Well-deserved reward is December... Oh, no. Extended giving utility. Oh, that's for last year's. So this year's will be December 4th. I don't know anyone who hasn't picked up their well-deserved reward. Where does it live, I wonder? I don't know. Just log in. So I don't know how you would have... I guess if you haven't played all year, so log in.
Yeah,
if you've got extra accounts, you might want to log in today or tomorrow and knock that out. Pick it up. I might have to do that too. I'm not even sure if any of my extra accounts have it. I think, though, if... Don't you get everything that was before that as well?
I'm pretty sure you do. If you log in, you do get all the previous awards because it goes on the number of years you've been playing the game, doesn't it? So
I thought so.
If you're 9 years or 10 years or 12 years, you get everything going backwards.
If you go to the depot, it'll be one of the top icons. Okay. All right, so that's going on, and it looks like from December 4th, you'll get the new one. 3D attachments are in-game, by the way, fellas. I don't know if you've noticed this, but they are here. So if we go back to the garage, and it has to be a tier 10. Let's go to exterior, and let's take a look at 3D attachments. Oh, wait, I don't have any. Oh, you don't get free ones?
No, but you do get, it is only for tier 10, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you haven't got a lot of tier 10s, you may not even see them.
Does anybody have a 3D attachment yet? Has there been a way to get them yet? Don't know. Huh. I don't have any, so there you go. Maybe that must be tied into the Christmas stuff, so much for that. So it looks like we had a couple map things. We got the 3D attachments, which it doesn't appear to have. Nobody has any 3D attachments. It'll be Christmas box filler, probably Gator, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, well, Coronal, come on. That's alphabetically. I mean, wow. Asking for the world there, right? That's right.
That would be such a divergent policy from World of Tanks. It would close the game down if they did that.
Yeah, it would probably destroy the game. If you started having common sense sorting capability.
Yeah. and a one-button click.
We can't caught into that kind of stuff, man. They can't have that.
No, that's too radical.
That is radical. It is radical. It is radical. You cannot have that kind of insanity going on in the game.
Not at all.
No. All right. What else? So let's go back because really, and in fact, I think all of the new tanks are probably in the.
Will they be in the shop? Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll be in the tool. Let's go on. Let's add this to. What are some of the new ones? So I've got tier 8. I'm just going to randomly look for it, but I don't know. Is there a German one? Let's see. Can't think of the daggum types there are. They should be in here, though. If I knew what one of them was, we could find it, but... Anyway, it'll come to me later on. But I think you can probably look at them in the comparison tool now.
Yeah.
Oops, that's Festive Strike. All right, so let's go check out old Jason Statham. I got this.
While you're doing that,
Vidya.
I just replied to Lord Wolfguard. I've still got 5, I think, rental tanks from 2 years ago sitting in the garage. I don't know why they just don't get rid of them. I'm not using them, not buying them, not playing them.
Yeah.
They just leave shit and hanging in your garage, don't they? Yes, so Jason, let's bring on the proper hard guy. Never mind Vinny, the not quite as hard as Jason Jones.
So when I saw this start, I'm like, oh, here we go with the cheesy, the standard wargaming cheese, right? Because it kind of kicks off like that, right? Actually, let me set this so you guys can hear it, because you probably can't hear it. Settings. Where'd they go? Hold on. Oh, there we go. All right. Eventually, I'll figure this out.
Yeah, one day. When it won't be needed. One day in the far distant future, you'll figure it out.
That's loud. All right. Throw her the bag. Gold falls out. Right?
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
What's he doing? Hoarding the gold.
Yeah.
It's all there. Let him go.
And that's where you know something's a little different than usual, right? It breaks the fourth wall. Now it's a video about they're making a show, right?
Santa, it's a trap.
This is where you start to feel sorry for the director.
Santa, it's a trap. And then you got the other bad guy, like clearly wasn't supposed to actually hit him.
No.
You know, he's like, oh. Now was that guy was the?
Let him go.
Is that Des?
Like, I don't know. Is that somebody? I don't know.
Trap. I'm so sorry. I thought you were gonna go the other way. Hey, up there.
All right, there's that guy.
Him?
Yeah, there's that guy.
Yeah. Whoever.
I don't know, whoever that is. Is that Dacky? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. That's Dacky. All right, so he's the snow guy.
Let's go again, and can you send us thunder?
All right, so he calls stunt. He banged on my head.
Okay, where's my mark?
Just over there. Wait, what?
What?
You...
Statham is really good, actually, with that kind of stuff, right? You know what I mean? You know, wait, what? He's like, what?
It can't be Santa's stunt double.
Why not?
You know,
Why not?
people will wonder why Santa keeps turning into a ripped Jason Statham.
Nah.
They won't give a monkeys about that. They just want to see action. Right, who's getting a slap?
Who's getting a slap? Right, who's getting a slap?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we would necessarily do that.
2? What is this? Ballroom dancing? We're going to need at least 6. And with proper weapons. One has a
All right, there's Quickie.
pickaxe, the other a flamethrower. I'm gonna need a spoon.
A spoon.
Yeah, a spoon to take out the lights.
I'm gonna need a spoon. Gonna need a spoon. That's great.
Spoon, please. We front kick, pickaxe fella, through the window. Backflip towards Goldie over here. Uppercut, shattering his teeth. Finish him off with a right hand to crush his sternum. Then we sneak up behind him.
To finish him off, to crush his sternum. The guy looks up like, what?
Flamethrower man here. We put him to sleep. Then, explosion one. Meg.
Copy.
Who's Meg?
Fire in the hole!
This. I don't know who she is, but she kind of cracks me up.
I was going to say, who is she?
She sort of gives
Cool.
me, oh, what's the actress, the blonde actress, the heavy blonde
I
actress?
know the one you mean.
Yeah, it gives me those vibes. So,
Yeah.
Another 3 or 4 heads together.
oh,
Explosion 2.
she flies away. Melissa McCarthy, that's it. That's it, Coronel. She gives me Melissa. I just laughed through this. I'm laughing through it again. I thought it was actually, you know, I have to give him credit, man. It's actually really good. And when she does that and then flies away, I'm like, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, that is funny. Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
I got the name right. Yeah.
And then they bring Fury in. I'm like, all right.
That's cool.
So they must have done this, I guess, at the Tank Museum?
Yeah, well, they borrowed it from the Tank Museum. Yeah, they did it at studios in London, north of London. What's it called?
Really? So they shipped Fury
yeah.
down there to do that? Wow.
Yeah. The Tank Museum borrowed it for them, lent it to them.
No, how'd you know that? You have inside information.
Oh, yeah. You know me in the Tank Museum. I got
Oh,
you
man. Yeah, you did. Look at that. All right.
Yeah.
Are you in
I can't
this?
remember the name. Wait, one of the masked men, possibly. The small one.
I think Pilgrim's in this, man.
Yeah, if you can find me, I'll give you 100 boxes.
Okay. There you are, in a wig. That's you right there.
No.
Found you. All right.
I could be doing the explosions, really, couldn't I? But that's not. It's.
You're gonna need one for the chase scene.
Chase scene.
Oh, is that tea?
I love that, man. Like, the whole thing is perfect. Oh, is that tea? Look at these guys all looking like, tea? What are you talking about? The director's like, what the hell is going on? Lovely.
Pinewood Studios. Couldn't remember the name of it. They did it at Pinewood Studios.
Oh! Oh!
Jason.
Do you know what? I actually feel very sorry for the poor director. He's just got no chance, has he?
No, he's screwed.
Sorry about that.
Look, these are all great ideas,
Thank you.
but you just can't do them.
Listen, son.
Listen, son.
I'm a professional. The script says gaze into the distance. I gaze. If it says parachute from a skyscraper holding a cat, I'm parachute.
It says stare up in the gaze in the distance. I gaze.
Yeah.
If it says jump off a skyscraper with a cat, I parachute.
The script says fight off a load of bad guys and escape in the tank. I'm gonna fight.
But the script doesn't say any of that. What I mean is, it's just not that kind of movie.
Well, it is now.
I knew that was coming, man. When that discussion was going down, he's like, doesn't have that. I'm like, he's gonna say it does now or something like that. Well, it is now. Takes a sip of his tea. That's great, man.
What's now on that barrel?
All right, there's skill. Randomly swinging a 2x4 or whatever he's doing right there.
Yeah.
Kind of a second.
Oh, I'm Jason Statham. I've got my little cup of tea and lots of ideas. You thought about that? Oh, that's not good. The script says no, I'll do it. Oh, yeah, that's it, Jason.
This is where I feel sorry for that poor director. I mean, you can just imagine he's now banging his head against the door.
Well, that's the bang from earlier.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing, but remember when he smacked his head? That's what.
That's right. Yeah. He is old dog. He is, but you've got to give him some leeway. He's an old guy, so he gets excited about things like this.
I just love this. I mean, it's funny to me the way they did it. I thought it was great.
We could look back on this and find this is a turning point to World of Tanks. Maybe in another 2 or 3 years' time, we'll look back and go, that was the turning point when they actually produced something worthwhile for Christmas.
This montage is hilarious, man. Fire. Well, Coronel, you can die with class, my friend.
That's the one. It could be the swan song. It could be the final gift of World of Tanks.
Oh, so I think I found it.
Did you see the Easter eggs?
Yeah, she said that there's a clue to what the 3-week event is called.
Yeah.
I would say Winter Raid, because that's what that says right there. All right.
Winter Raid.
Yeah. There's probably way more in here I've missed. I bet some of those are the decorations too.
More than likely.
People running for it. Oh, sorry. There's what's her name in the middle of it. She's like, I wonder who she is. I wonder if she's an employee or just an actress. I don't know. She's cracking me up though. She's just a little explosion.
Cool. It's just cool, isn't it?
A gnome. There goes a gnome.
Now that would have been funny with the face of a CC on it.
Santa.
Well, who knew that him and Santa were so tight? You know what I mean? Bestest buddies.
1 take 4.
I think that might be a wrap.
Excellent news.
Solid work.
Have a look at that. Have a look at that.
What?
The clapperboard. What did the clapperboard say?
Oh, I missed it. Was there
Go
something
back to the
important on it?
Yeah. You go back to the clapperboard when it does Santa
And board.
and just expand it. When it turns the right way up, expand it so you can read what it says.
It says D. Himmelsdorf V. Karelia.
Yeah. What does that tell you?
I don't know. What's it tell me?
No. Neither do I, but it must be something. Why have it on there? Yeah.
I fell for it.
You should have turned left at that turning, Colonel.
Yeah.
I think that might be a wrap.
That is exactly what that moment was. That is exactly what that led down the primrose path by the senior NCO once again.
Excellent news.
All right.
Solid work. You know what, Santa?
What's that?
I bloody love Christmas.
I think that's it. Yep, that's it. So there you go, my friends. Good video, man.
It was a good video. Lots of little hidden things in there. Worthwhile watching a few
Yeah.
times, I think.
Yeah.
Not just for the giggles.
Yep, that was well done by them. I have to give them that. So Jason Statham is the guy. We'll get the boxes on the 6th. He's a commander. I think it's on Commander AF's video. There's one line of his voice lines. Sounds decently like him, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
3D attachments.
I think they'll do that. You know, like they did with Arnie. They had that Christmas chalet, and with the dog and the cat and Arnie. And
Oh, that was
similar to that.
That was one of the things I got from Commander AF's video. They have changed the garage, so it won't be the same garage.
Yeah, got it.
And there's the ship. There's a ship or something that has all your friends. You still go to your friend's garage, and creep around and steal their stuff.
Yeah. I do constantly to Mad Dog. I go to Mad Dog's all the time.
And he's never there. You just roll in, open his fridge, and drink his beer. You know? Like, I'll be having some of this stuff. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
There's a dog and a cat. Yep, there's the red shower cat and whatever the dog's name is. And you can pet them. Whatever.
Fantastic.
So I got that. All right, so that's the day one. What else we got? Results of maneuvers. If you're curious how many people got the T-62 version 1 thing, there were some videos out about how much rigging was going on in that, and virtually nobody got kanksed. So I think Quickie did it, or somebody else did a video on it, did the numbers. Like, yeah, there's a bunch of people didn't get the tank because a bunch of people rigged to get it.
Right.
That kind of got me thinking yet again about this same old thing we've talked about with rigging. On the one hand, who really cares and is affected by it? On the other hand, it's a good point to say, well, yeah, but if somebody at a lower level didn't get something because somebody above them rigged to get it, yeah, it affected that person.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Can you get you've been asked if your stream does tokens?
I believe so, Lord Wolfguard. There's several versions of it. There are the streams that anyone who's streaming a World of Tanks with the World of Tanks tag, it will count. So basically when you watch the stream, just kind of pay attention. There are also specialized streams, I believe, coming up as well for certain CCs. I'm generally not one of those. I'm a CA, ambassador, I guess, which is a lower level. CC and above, they sign NDAs, so they have things like bespoke rewards for their streams. So it's unfortunately you kind of have to pay attention to it. We do try to go over some of that on Sundays for everybody, but the biggest key is start watching it, give it about 15, 20, 30 seconds, and then check the stream thing on the top right, and it'll tell you if you're actually getting credit for it. That's the best I can say, but generally if it's one of the big Twitch campaigns, anyone streaming World of Tanks, you'll get credit for it. For the bespoke ones, you're going to have to be with a CC or a CR.
Yes, it will, Alamandian. You have had too much coffee.
It might have Tolkien's. I don't know. Good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. The cheating thing on the one, I guess I'm just at the point like whatever. You know, it would irritate.
You know, as you say, it affects the person it affects, but it doesn't affect everything, does it? So
yeah.
You know, people are going to. Yeah. It's a world of cheaters, isn't it? I mean,
I don't like
people
it.
out there who always find the angle. You know,
Yeah, I don't like it. On the one hand, on the other hand, for my World of Tanks journey or whatever the hell you want to call it, I don't care at this point. Like, okay, I don't have a 279 early. I don't have a Chieftain. I don't have the T-62. I don't have the 7502 or whatever it is, 72 whatever. I don't have any of that stuff. I don't care. I think I have do I have a 907? I might have a 907. I don't think so, though. Pretty sure I don't. So I don't have all that stuff because I haven't done the clans, so I don't care. But some people do, and it is irritating that if people are rigging, buying tanks, and some dude who actually gave it a shot and spent a bunch of time trying to get it was at the bottom of the list and he got bumped off. He or she got bumped off because some clown, rigged for it. What are you going to do? Like, okay, the obvious.
I mean, you'd expect Wargaming then would have to go through the account, remove that particular item from that account, give it to the other person. That's just too much fat. Wargaming ain't going to do that, are they?
Well, but the best you get. Well, to be honest, to be fair with Wargaming, on occasion they have crushed the very obvious things.
Accounts, yeah.
They cut those off the top, and it has shifted people up from the bottom. We didn't see any evidence of that this time, unless somebody has new information I don't have. But it seems like they didn't bother this time.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Whether they didn't think it was happening, they didn't want to worry about it. It's coming, but it hasn't happened. I don't know. But from the videos I was watching, it was pretty obvious to me, and I think to the person obviously making the video and claiming that it looked like there was plenty of rigging going on, and Wargaming did nothing about it.
Yeah.
Don't know. You know what's wild? Watt Blitz.
What's wild?
Watt Blitz is wild. Watt Blitz
It
has
is wild. It is
fully,
the Wild West.
has fully embraced whatever this is. Who is Dead Mouse, guys? Groove. Is that some it's a musical group, right? Are they Euro? I'm gonna insult people.
I've never heard of them.
I'm gonna insult people. Are they Euro trash?
He's a DJ.
Yeah, Euro trash DJ. Sorry, Dead Mouse. I'm sure you're a great DJ.
Canadian streamer.
Whatever.
Canadian
Oh,
streamer.
it's a Canadian. Well, Dead Mouse is, but is he a streaming DJ or are we talking two different people? All right, for you guys, I don't even know if there's one here. Do we have anyone watching this who's into the DJ dance music thing? Anyone here into that? I don't want to insult you, but I'm going to insult you. That's how you know you're about to be insulted, by the way. With all due respect. You can't just say anything you want after you say all due respect. Of course I can. I said with all due respect. He does stuff live. All right. So there is no doubt that that's a talent. Like some of the stuff those people do. Not the fake ones. A lot of times you get the fake ones that are they're moving stuff and they're not really doing it. But it is definitely a talent. That kind of music makes me want to scratch my eyes out with a rusty spoon.
Yeah.
Honestly, no, I'm kidding. By the way, I'm not advocating self-harm. I'm just trying to indicate my disdain for it. Drug culture. Yeah, there's some of that too. He lives in Milton, Ontario. Well, he's got himself a nice collab with Watt Blitz, the Wild West. They're crazy.
They are crazy.
Yeah, that the historical whatever. The Blitz has nothing to do with that. They're like, no, we're all in on whatever all that is. See, that's the thing, Grendel. I think that's a tough one, isn't it? Because they sample other people's music, but then they rearrange it and put it together. Some people create it from scratch. Yeah. That doesn't bother me too much. It's just that the music is not my thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Zemke says some of it's good for... Yeah, it's not all... I guess it's not all kind of... I'm not supposed to use the word spastic, but I'll just use it anyway.
Well, in that context, you can use that word because, again, the English language contains that word within the English Oxford Dictionary to indicate not of an offensive meaning, but a meaning which means not regular.
Yeah, I hesitate to use the word normal because I'm not really,
Yeah.
especially in that context of he's a normal person. Oh, really? Please describe normal person, by the way.
Yeah, there is no normality.
Yeah.
There's nothing such thing as normal.
Which actually cuts both ways, to be honest. But
yeah.
Anyway, not my favorite music. I don't care for it, especially the redundancy of it sometimes. Like the same beat, boom, boom, just like over and over and over and over and over. But anyway, I do realize a lot of people do like it and enjoy it, so good on them. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to comment on Watt Blitz being wild. That would be funny to see. Here's a article if you want to know the benefits of airsoft, which is actually a gambling advertisement with a link in it. Anywho's, I don't think there's much else here, guys. There's the MBT. This is a tier 10 heavy. I'm not sure how that's coming into the game. Is that maybe a new Clan Wars thing? I've lost track of how that's coming into the game. Chopper is the tier 7 double barrel. Interesting that the new British heavy line that's coming out, which I believe we're getting a premium in the boxes of, starts at tier 7 with the double barrels.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So tier 7 is going to have a double barrel in it. Ooh. Right, Al Einstein? That's what I'm saying. 100%. Interesting that the mechanic, right? They always, when the mechanic starts, it's usually tier 8. But a double barrel tier 7 with 230. So 230, that's 460. Not a whole bunch. 7.7 reload, aiming time 2.2. Minus 10 gun depression. How's the turret? Turret's only 180. Hull's decent at 130. It's not very angled though. Goes 34. So there you go. Interesting. What else we got? I think that's pretty much it here.
But there's no hidden mechanics in that we can see anyway.
Well, other than the double barrel.
Double barrel, yeah. You haven't got that, more damage closer in sort of mechanic or anything else that they've applied to TDs or anything like that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
And that's it, fellas. That's all we know right now, unless somebody has any other data, which you can feel free to chuck in chat. Anything we missed with the holiday op stuff?
No, I was down a quick look at that. In fact, I've just closed it all down there. There was one other thing, I think. Maybe we covered it. I can't remember. No.
Yeah, Grendel, I did see a couple videos. They did quite a few buffs last minute to a lot of the tanks that are coming in the boxes. So we'll see what kind of state those things are in.
But these are all tanks that have been through super tests and everything now, anyway, isn't it? So there's nothing coming out of the woodwork that we don't know about.
Well, from the common test, apparently they've changed them quite a bit. There were some.
They
They announced some serious buffs mostly, I think, to a lot of them right after the common test was done.
Right.
You did hear something about +1, -1 matchmaker? Oh, Coronel Potter's trying to start a revolution. He's trying to start a revolution right here.
You've got to say that's not a bad effort, but then you've got to then say, well, hang on a minute, we're talking the North American server here. We'd never get into a game if that was the case.
Grendel wants an autoloader. Grendel wants an autoloader, Artie.
Yes, that's what we want. An auto-loaded Artie. Haven't we got that with the back chats anyway, with the BCs?
Dude,
they fire that fast. There might as well be an auto-loader.
On one of the last games in my Stag Hound, I got hit for 800 from an Artie on a direct hit. That was awesome.
That is horrible, isn't it? That is horrible.
Streamer said something about reworking matchmaker. That would be big.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want that.
No.
I think I get it. Understand why on the balance side people want that, but I'm telling you, be careful what you wish for.
They've been down this road so many times before. They've now got, I would say, effectively the best of a bad lot by having the way they've got the matchmaker. I mean, a little bit more tweaking maybe, but remember they drastically changed it and they did all sorts, and they've got to a point, I think, where they've gone, do you know what, enough is enough. If we do any more messing about with this, it'll just never work. Given that the size of the player base is significantly smaller now on the NA, you know, if you're talking 5,000 to 8,000 people, you'll not get into a game. If you've got +1 or minus, there won't be enough players to be able to do that on every tier.
My personal opinion is and people may not admit to this, but one of the big draws, I won't say biggest, but one of the main parts about the mechanics of this game is that on occasion you get to be top tier and be the big bad on the battlefield.
Yeah.
And if you take that away, people say they don't want it, but that's not true.
Yeah.
They love it. It's actually fun, and it's a baked-in part of the game. It's actually the matchmaker +or-2 is sort of a skill-based mechanic to some extent, meaning that if you're good and you're bottom tier and you can still do well, that's impressive.
Yeah.
If you take that away and it's only +1, -1, then it becomes more same stuff.
Yeah. It removes a lot of the challenge, doesn't it?
And you might go, well, I don't want to be stomped on as bottom tier. I get it. Neither do I. Not all the time. But you're not always stomped on as bottom tier. So you have to be realistic about what is really happening. You know what I mean?
What happens in that situation, I'm not sure if everybody thinks this way, but what happens with that situation is if you're bottom tier in a 3-tier matchup, then you have to be more concerned with your decision making when you play the game. So do I go where I know the tier 10 is going to be, or do I go and be effective somewhere else where I know, or I've got a fairly good idea that the same tier or one tier up is going to be? Or do you say, this is my opportunity to take a lot of damage out of all the big heavy tier 10s sitting there, you know what I mean, and just snipe it? So you then get into the whole process of looking at the teams and making a real decision instead of just rolling over to the same old place that you normally roll over to. You know?
Yeah, I agree, Grendel. The most memorable games, to me anyway, are where you do well down tier. My opinion, I think if you're concentrating on the issue with fast games, and you're blaming it on matchmaking, I believe you're missing the boat by a wide margin, because the matchmaking issue with fast games is a symptom and not a cause, and the cause is the imbalance in tanks.
Yes. Yeah.
And some of the mechanics,
Yeah. If they focus more on balancing the tanks, so you haven't got an Iron Army against against something else, or whatever, any of the overpowered tanks, and the opposite teams seem to have, let's call it, the better tanks. If they could somehow focus on tank for tank as opposed to like for like, then you probably get a better game.
Yeah. Plus or minus 3 was wild, wasn't it, Gator? Andy, what's happening? Remember having your tier 7 Tiger against a mouse?
Yes.
That was awesome.
But you remember being in a tier 1 and your teammate could be a tier 10. I remember that was fun. You could be in a tier 1 light and you had a tier 10, platoon buddy.
That was right at the beginning when it was like in beta or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely awesome. It was so much fun.
But plus or minus 2, I think is good. I think it's part of the good part of the game, in my opinion, and I might be in the minority here. I think you lose a lot of the variability and interesting. We talked about at the beginning of the stream about how 30 different individuals can play the game very differently. Then you add the different tier situation, and by the way, you're not always 2 tiers down. Like 3-tier battles are what, 33%?
Yeah.
Something like
If
that. Otherwise, you're already in a lot of same tier and 2-tier battles.
Yeah.
I think you're really concentrating on a small piece of the problem that is a symptom and not the cause. So go ahead and treat symptoms. That's fine, but you're not really being honest with what the actual issue is. And I'm not saying take every overperforming tank and try to make everything at 50%. There is some goodness to having better tanks and worse tanks. I don't think they have to necessarily stay the same all the time. And they certainly are very slow to deal with the problems. And of course, if they sell it or they give it in Clan Wars and it's overpowered, then that's almost never going to get touched. So those are the issues there. Not that it's plus or minus 2. Well, this is the same failed divisions. So tier 6 can team with a tier 7 and meet tier 9. Ouch, yeah. Yeah. Not explaining well shots are miss and you get set on fire when you lose in 2 minutes. Look, man, I'm sympathetic to it, but I'm telling you, I have 100,000 battles in this game, and it's just random, man. It is. And it feels like it's against you if it happens a couple times in a row, and sometimes you have that day where the rolls go against you.
I've found with that being set on fire, it is very memorable. Purely because it doesn't happen that often, but when it does, it has a devastating effect on your tank if you don't have automatic fire extinguisher or whatever.
Yeah.
So it sticks in your mind a lot more. I hate being put on fire because it's giving away free hit points at that point.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God. And when you take 2/3 of your hit points off you, that's even worse. You're like, I can't even operate now. I can't operate because I'm a one-shot to everything. But that sticks in your mind because it happens so rarely.
Yeah.
And certainly rarely if it's 1 or 2 games in a row where it's the same thing happens. I mean, I think last week I can distinctly remember going on fire, I think twice out of 6 battles.
Yeah.
And lost nearly all my hit points. But I remember it because it is so rare.
Well, sometimes you're driving a lighter tank that's just susceptible to that. Nobody registers the 4 or 5 days in a row you didn't get lit on fire.
Yeah, no, that's it. You don't. It's like
you get lit on fire twice in one.
You
get lit on fire twice in one session, and then once the next day. You're like, I get lit on fire every 2 games.
I say that all the time.
I've been there.
Die too early.
I've complained. I've said the same thing on stream. I can't win. Nothing's hitting. I'm like, okay. And often, you guys have seen it, right? I've said stuff like that. I'm like, let's go look at the stats and see if that's right. Because I'll say something like, I can't get a win, right? I'm just having, and then I'll look at them like, oh, I'm actually 1 above 50% when I thought I was, 17 below, right? That's the feeling in the brain.
Yeah.
My advice is if you think something like that's happening, Go through your stats or go through your replays and be honest with yourself as to whether that's actually happening.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be, but I bet it's not.
No, I think it's very rare
I
where
bet
you
it's
can
not.
go back to your stats and go, do you know what? I've played 30 games today and I've lost 29. But it might feel
Right,
like
right,
but
right,
you
right.
know what I mean?
I say it on
rare.
I say it on stream all the time. Like, God, is that like 8 in a row losses? You know,
Yeah.
and I'll go through. I'm like, no, it's 5, and then a 2 wins and then a lot. Right? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I forgot about that, or no, it just feels like 8 losses in a row. It wasn't.
Yeah,
It was 5, which was bad enough, but it's not 8, right?
No. Yeah.
5's bad enough, and you can complain about that. We just have I think humans in general have a tendency to exaggerate stuff like that. I certainly do.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, it's confirmation bias in a lot of ways, isn't it?
And if you're sitting at 50%, which I think a lot of you are, or close to it, or slightly over, I'm at 58. I'm playing more like 55, 56 these days. Obviously, for me, things are going better than they're going bad at 56%. Most of the tanks I do the 100 battle challenge, I'm above 50 in. Not all, but most. Some well above. So all the bad stuff we complain about, in my experience, I'm actually ahead of the game on. And even if you're running 52, 53%, you're ahead of the game, especially in general. So
Yeah, absolutely. Andy's got it right there. I mean, you when I get to a point where I'm going, I think I've lost a load of games here. Right, I'll just get off the game. I mean, I've got the advantage I can pop over to the EU and play my EU account, which it's quite perverse, really, because I could be having a really bad time, or feel like I'm having a bad time on the NA account. And I go, right, that's it. I'm not playing it anymore. I've just lost the last 3 in a row. I'm coming off the game. And then I'll click over to EU and have an absolutely fantastic time.
Yeah.
Get 10 wins on the bounce, and you're like, wow. So it's funny. I mean, it's the same game. It's just got, different teams, obviously, but it's the same game. But you just feel, it's weird. It's just weird. Absolutely, Grendel. Yeah, the human brain is wired to remember the negative for all the good reasons. It's the fight or flight thing, isn't it?
actually, this is a good segue here because I forgot about this and I wanted to show you guys this. This is pretty awesome. So I got this note. So I had a battle. I'm trying to remember what it was now before I show it. I was in my MBT. What is it? The British. Was it in the MBT or was it in the Object 268? I think the MBT. Yeah, because I think I was shooting gold. Anyway, so my MBT.
Shoot gold, yeah.
I think I have a slight less than 2,000 damage, like 1900 or 18, 17, something like that. Not a great game. It's tier 10. Didn't do really great. So I went and played another game, came back, and I have this absolutely legendary Xerxes the Great chases me into the garage. You know how much I love that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we get this little exchange, which I thought was funny. All right, so there's the whole exchange. So you can tell I haven't cut anything out of it. He says, that the Unicum strat to the... Oh, it was a Lorraine 50. Never mind. Lorraine 50. Shoot all gold and still fail to break 2k damage and lose. I lost. I failed to break 2k. I shot all gold. These are all facts.
Yeah.
Correct. You got it all figured out. An absolute legend you are. GG. Good luck figuring out the game. He goes, with 264 pen stock AP, I think it'd be pretty easy to get damage if you know how to actually aim. Gold round orthodoxy or premium round orthodoxy, I got nothing for you.
No, absolutely not.
In terms of that, you may be a fantastic guy. We can agree on a lot of stuff. You watch my stream. I love it. Friends, noted. If you're coming at me with premium round orthodoxy, you can GTFO.
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly.
Because guess what?
And
It's in the game.
and you can stay and we can still talk because that's all good. But in terms of that particular aspect of the game, GTFO, dude, whatever. If you want to limit yourself by not shooting, and I have my problems, I shoot it at the wrong time sometimes. Heat is an issue with me. I got it. I don't always pick the right round. I'm sorry I'm not as good as you are, but whatever. You know what I mean? I'm working on it. I'm always working on it.
Do you know what I find about premium rounds is that I will ricochet a lot more using APCR premium rounds than any other round, and heat has no effect on the enemy tanks for me. Heat just goes splat on the side of the tank. And
Heat
does nothing.
requires a couple brain cells to initiate, and I often have trouble with that.
I don't have any. I don't
because
have any when it comes to it.
because spaced armor and tracks and stuff getting it all kind of. So yes, I could absolutely do better at it. No, if you're a premium realm orthodoxy person, thou shalt not. I'm better because I only use AP. Okay, good. Congratulations.
Yeah, good for you, mate.
Yeah.
Good for you. It's in the game.
Yeah.
That's why, it's in the game. What's the problem?
It's a tool,
What's
dude.
the
It's a
problem?
tool.
It's a tool,
Use it or don't.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't put vents. Don't put vents on your tank because that's cheating.
Sometimes I pork it away. Noted. I screw a lot of stuff up. All right. So then he says that. He said, if you know how to aim. I said, I don't know how. I just point in their general direction. Am I doing it wrong? And then I said, the good news is that you get 308 with premium. Woohoo! More pen. And he says, apparently not, since you still didn't break 2K with it. Let's address this as well. The old, you're bad. Your opinion is bad because you had a one-off bad game or a good game, as in you're great, I'm great, I had a good game. Get the frick out of here, man. Come on.
Just go away. Why are you coming after me?
Dude, you're a 51, 52% player, lifetime, whatever, man.
Yeah.
So I said, my bad, I did 5K a minute ago and won. That's actually true. About 2 games later, I had a 5K. In fact, I'm going to show it on a video because it's actually the best game I ever had in the Lorraine, to be honest with you.
Cool.
He said,
it's not broken by the update, is it?
No. Not yet. So then the last thing he goes, so I said I had a 5K. He goes, I mean, big damage on tier 7s with 308 millimeter pen, meaning, well, whatever. And so my parting shot, which finally sent him away, says, I only shot HE.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dude.
Oh, dear.
I find just a serious dose of sarcasm. And what's funny is the younger generations, they don't know what to do with that.
No. They can't respond to it.
Yeah.
They either get very angry about it or they
Right.
just cut you off dead.
Right.
You know.
And at some point, they start to realize they're being played. And I'm not angry. I'm just laughing. You know, I'm like, whatever, man. I don't know what.
Yeah. What do you want me to say?
I saw a Gen X guy, older guy, say he did a video, and it's social media, so whatever. But anyway, I thought it was pretty good. He goes, if I'm not insulting you, even just a little bit, I probably don't like you.
Yeah. Excellent. Oh man.
And full disclosure, I don't ever chase anybody into garage.
I don't find the point.
I do not,
the point?
unless it's to say GG, or it's one of you guys I know, or whatever, or hey, thanks for helping me. If it's positive, I'll do that.
Sure.
I never go into garage and insult people. I might type in game. I find that to be part of trash talking, part of the competitive experience. I realize sometimes my language isn't quite right. I work again. I don't always accomplish my standards. Weird, but I'm working on it. I do a lot better than I used to. But in terms of once the match is over, I go back to game. I do not do that. And if somebody comes into my garage, I used to give them both barrels.
Yeah.
But I've dialed that back to just the sarcasm piece. Used to be sarcasm
Yeah.
and whatever. But back in the day, especially when it was a little bit more of the Wild West, you get a lot of the slurs, sexual orientation slurs, and calling people that. And the other one that works, other than sarcasm, is leaning hard into that. And if they accuse you, then just start getting really gnarly with it.
Yeah.
And they.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, dude!" I'm like, "Well, you started it, man."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Am I hurting your feelings yet? Behave yourself.
Howie, I'll be honest with you. I kind of enjoy the back and forth because occasionally they get the better of me. I have to admit, sometimes people are pretty good, and they kind of stump me, and I can't really do anything. Like, dang it, I kind of lost that. That was pretty good, dude. Nicely done. Yeah. But because I don't sit there and obsess, I'll go play a game. And if I come back and they've said something, I'll shoot something off. I'll go play another game. See how long it'll go,
You're not sitting there waiting for it to come back, are you? You know what I mean?
I'll be honest, too, though. I won't say more often than not, but I will say more often than I would think would be possible, I guess, or it happens more than you might think, I guess might be another way to say it, is eventually if I talk to them long enough, especially if I start to change the tone a little bit, you can often kind of bring them around. And by the end of it, and by the end of it, you're like, hey man, GG, sorry about that. Because sometimes they've misinterpreted what you were doing in the game. Or you've misinterpreted what they've been doing, or both.
Yeah, we've had this conversation before, haven't we? If you could go and watch his replay from his game, you would probably see a very different game to your replay. And what he is seeing could have some validity in his own mind because he's not, it's a full picture thing, isn't it? You know what I mean?
And oftentimes I'll kind of explain why I did some stuff, Again, because I don't chase, I don't go in to try to tell them what I did. But if they're genuinely curious, and I've gained followers through that process on occasion.
Yeah, absolutely.
People who are interested in the videos afterwards or go, oh, I didn't know that or whatever. Or at the very least, at the end, you're like, all right, sorry we got into it. GG. Here's my perspective. And I'm not saying we always go away friends, but I think sometimes we have a better understanding of what each other's point was.
Yeah.
As long as it's just not you're a whatever and you're a whatever.
Yeah. I mean, if you can have an adult grown-up conversation at the end of it, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, the worst I've ever done to anybody is when they followed me back to the garage and virtually threatened me with death. I've invited them over. Yeah, I've invited them over and said, I'll pay your plane ticket. Come over. Come and kill me. I'm waiting for you. I'll give you my address. By all means, come and say hi.
Yeah.
Don't get anything back from that.
You got to be careful with the one freak. You know what I mean? It's always.
Yeah, somebody goes, send me the money. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
I don't give my real address though.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
But I thought that was pretty funny. All right.
Well,
I'm looking at chat here. Social media. Well, Sasquatch, that's a good point. A lot of stuff said on social media is things you would never say to somebody's face.
Nah.
That's
exactly that.
That's the unfortunate part. Unfortunately, I've done stuff like that myself. Again, try to dial it back. 6,000K damage, 405. Fired one premium round. Yeah, there's a great example. Again, Grendel's comment way up there. 100%.
Yeah.
You played the whole. That's what you were talking about going back and looking at it. He shot one, and the guy's like, "You're spamming." Dude, I actually only shot one. That's what I had. Or maybe I needed that shot to happen.
Yeah.
Or hey, you had a juicy Hesh premium round target, and I switched whatever.
Yeah. Advent calendar is active, nothing special. Day one is today.
Lovely garage message, red line, bush camping Minotauro, called Gold Noob.
Yeah, I always say, I am. Why? What's the problem?
Some of it's left over, Hitman, because back in the day, it was a money thing. Which, again, I don't think that changes it necessarily, but these days, you're paying silver for premium rounds, so it's a tool at this point. Send good game to people. Yeah, me too, Gator. That's all I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I will ask them, like, if they did something crazy or something happened I didn't understand. I don't always get an answer, but I'll be, hey, for the record, what setup we're using, or were you in that bush, or did you see me, or something like that. I don't always get a response, but sometimes you might learn something from this stuff like that. Trolled somebody so bad he joined the clan. Good. Follow my trash shot. Response depends on the person. Lots of times it's a smurf reroll making. Yeah. I have a note to copy and paste. Bye bunting dead. There you go, Cuban. Yeah. He's got a stock answer for him. They're probably like, whoa, don't mess with this guy. Guy got hate from gamers who would dox them. Yeah, dude. Okay. Yeah, that's... I mean, on the one hand, you're like, oh, you don't want that guy showing up. On the other hand, you might show up at the wrong place, too. That's not a good idea.
That's not a good idea, no.
Right, Andy? 25 years on rigs. Yeah, I spent, 23 years in the military as a fighter pilot. That you're not going to insult me, man.
There's nothing anybody can say is going to hurt.
Not really. I mean, obviously, if you go after the wife or daughter or stuff like that.
Well, there's a different matter.
That'll be an issue. But in terms of calling me a name or whatever, I don't care.
Hell's bells.
Yeah, Gator, that's I know that's a saying for a long time. The first time I heard that saying, you can call me whatever you want, but don't call me late for dinner, was George Foreman. I saw him he was being interviewed or something. And they were talking,
Wow.
I think he was coming up. Who did he fight? He fought somebody. Frazier, not Frazier.
Right. Yeah, it would be.
Foreman, who was it?
Was it Ali?
No.
Foreman Ali?
Well, back in the day, but when he came back, remember he came back after he had retired. Not like Tyson, 50 years. Foreman was in his 30s or something. It was like this,
Yeah, he was.
or
yeah,
40 or early 40s, and it's like, oh my God, he's so old.
Yeah.
Buster Douglas? I don't know. Anyway, they were interviewing him, and of course they were calling each other names through the media and all that stuff they do to hype the fight and all that stuff. And they said, what do you think about him calling you this? He goes, you can call me whatever you want, just don't call me late for supper. Because he was a big old boy, man.
Yeah.
Might have been Holyfield, yeah. Foreman Holyfield, yeah.
Oh, could have been, yeah. Holyfield, yeah.
That saying stuck with me. I used that saying for a long time. I thought that was pretty funny. Well, Pilgrim, I think we've come to the end of all the stuff we can talk about this week.
I know, but it's a good old week, isn't it?
It is.
Kick off to Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas is coming. Somebody subscribed.
Christmas.
Who did I miss?
Yeah.
I missed a subscription in here somehow. How did I do that? Don't know. That didn't come up. I was at 18 when we started. Now I'm at 19. Thank you, whoever it was. Maybe it happened offline, but usually it shows up, so I'm not really sure what happened there. I missed it. Christmas. Christmas is coming, man. We're going to have boxes. We're going to give away some stuff. Once again, we'll do Tankers Helping Tankers. Let me know if you're sending that stuff for it, although you probably don't have to actually do that because anything that goes into the kitty starting today will be going towards that. But what I do need, I'll send the video out, but what I do need, start thinking about it, is nominations for who you would like to get the boxes. And I'll iterate this in the video, but just a quick blurb. I don't need their whole history or whatever, just a general idea of why it is they could use this. Use the little pick me up. Cool. I think that's it, man. You got anything else for the boys and girls, if there are any?
Yes. No, I'm done. It's fine.
I've used all the words I'm going to use on you.
Used all the words. Yeah, that's it.
Let's see who we got.
I need some words to go and troll somebody in World of Tanks anyway, so I'm saving a few of those.
So get out there, spam your gold.
Yeah.
Make sure you
Artie.
Guard Artie in your heavy.
Yes. Yes, that's a good idea. Sit on the red line with Artie. I'm protecting Artie here. That's what I'm doing.
Do all that stuff.
Valuable asset.
Get out there and see if you can play the game such that you get garage comments, and we'll talk about them next week.
Yeah, go out without any ammunition and just go around ramming other tanks. Sorry, I've got no ammo. I've just got to have to ram them. Just see how many trolls you get. That'd be awesome.
Had to buy some cheap Winters yesterday, so what are Winters? To install them. Oh, tires. Got it. Tires. That's one thing I don't have to deal with here, man. That's why I like living where I live.
Yeah. It's fairly constant all the year round.
Yep. All right, who should we go raid, guys? Anybody got any ideas?
Quickie baby.
No, not raid. He gets all irritated by it. Guild event ramming battle. Oh, we haven't done. We did that once and we never got back to it. We said we'd try to knock that out.
We said we're going to try something.
If we did
Christmas.
So if we did a ramming battle, how would we do it? Fast tanks?
I want to say all iron Arnies. That would be fun.
Yeah, but they're not fast enough to ram.
They're not fast enough. No. ELCs. Let's ram ELCs.
No, they're too hard to hit with.
Well, I don't know.
It'd have to be something everyone has too, so that's the next trick.
Oh, it'd have to be Italian then. You'd have to do something like a Progetto or something like that.
304s. We did have 304
possibly.
wars.
Yeah.
We did have 304s, but that ends up being shotgunning people.
Yeah.
Like a tier 5 maybe. Maybe the well-deserved reward tank because everyone should have it.
That would be fun. Yeah.
Tier 6. Something like Super Chaffies, because they're agile. Or a T50-2.
T50-2 would be good. Big enough to hit. And fast enough to make it fun.
T50-2 or Super Chaffies. Or, oh, wait, the 2801.
Or the 2801, yeah, that would be even better.
Yeah. Or
we have to do a lot of cliff jumping at the end.
Which one's the most agile, though? We want one that gets up to speed. Probably the 50-2.
Oh, you're starting to talk wheels. You're starting to talk wheels now.
Yeah, sorry, I don't want it. Yeah.
Don't want that, no.
So those are definitely Super Chaffee, 2801, or the T50-2 would be candidates for the ramming battle. And then just let people set them up how they want. You know, if they want to go all in and use the hardening and make sure the crew has...
Yeah.
Which one's the best tier 6? Oh, the MT, is it the heaviest one?
Is it? The MT, what is it called? MT-01?
MT-25.
MT-25.
Is it heavier than the... Hold on, let's look at it. It is... Let's go over here, actually. So the MT-25's weight... Where is it? 26.32. The 2801 is... The 2801's heavier, slightly. But the MT...
It's weight to power ratio, though, when it comes to ramming, isn't it?
Well, once it gets up to speed, I guess. So this thing goes 62. This thing goes 68. It's actually faster. It's got a weight... It's got a specific power of 27, and the MT's got... So MT has a little bit better acceleration at 28. I think they're pretty comparable. I don't know.
Okay.
Might be close.
Okay, I'll put it out to the clan, and then we'll get it out to the rest of the world.
Like maybe you just maybe we just say tier 6 light tanks, whatever one you want.
Yeah, whatever one you want.
Right. So I mean, clearly you probably wouldn't run in a 12T, but who knows? Maybe someone has a sneaky way to set up a smaller tank to be more agile and survive it or whatever. So what map would we use, fellas?
Well, it's got to be fairly open, hasn't it? Because with a
and
few
smallish.
Maybe Karelia or I don't want to say Proc.
We could do Malinovka, and the center field is the play field. Like you got to stay there.
Yeah.
Or
out to bound places.
Or Himmelsdorf center, the central courtyard in Himmelsdorf.
Oh yeah, we could do. We've done that before.
But that was with Artie.
Spotting. Yeah, that was an Artie thing.
I don't think
it's big enough. I don't think it's big enough to do.
You don't think so?
Himmelsdorf. I don't think
it would take a while to ram each other to death on that map.
Yeah.
But it might be funny towards the end where guys are just sort of dinking off a couple hit points here and there, trying to figure it out. You know.
Jumping off the top of the cliff edge and all that sort of stuff would be fun.
I don't think we want to use the map and use the whole map though. I think we'd want to designate a relatively small play area.
Yeah, you'd have to have an out of bound area where you can't do. You know, you're not allowed to do any damage.
Yeah, Chronal, essentially a demo derby. Absolutely. We could probably do that next week. Actually, you want to just set that up right now?
I can put it into clan chat. We can perhaps
just part of coffee talk, so that we'll do
it as part of coffee talk.
Yeah. So let's plan on that, guys.
Publicize it.
Let's plan on that. We'll do a demo derby during coffee talk, the last 30 minutes or so, next week. So tier 6 light tanks, whatever one you want, however you want to set it up.
Malinovka, I think we go with.
Malinovka in the middle field.
In the middle, yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool.
And I'm not going to get too worried about like just what's the word I'm looking for? Get old, you forget. Basically, cutting people out of it. I don't want anyone going up the hill and disappearing, but if they fall off if they get off the edge a little bit, that's not a big deal. There is some water over there you can knock people in, depending on if you go over there or not. So that's actually kind of funny. What other maps might be interesting though?
Abbey?
Yeah, where would you go?
Well, you've got the whole central part in Abbey down in the valley bit. So from the ice, the ice road, it goes all the way around, doesn't it? And you've got water at the far end where they can be drowned.
What if you? What if we put everybody in this little center courtyard on Is it Abbey? The one that has the Abbey in the middle has the one little central courtyard.
Oh.
I don't even know if you could get 30 tanks in there, and then just say go and see how long it takes to kill someone or push them out or something.
You could do that with Himmelsdorf. You could just say, just that central plaza in Himmelsdorf. You're not allowed outside the central plaza. So you get up your line.
No, yeah, Himmelsdorf would work.
Versus 15.
Yeah.
Himmelsdorf would do it. Yeah,
yeah.
Himmelsdorf would definitely do it.
So Himmelsdorf is the player.
Fun. That'd be like a Canadian ice hockey game, that, wouldn't it?
God, you know the other one that'd be funny?
Whoa.
Cliff or whatever, the lighthouse thing where the airplane crashes.
Oh, yeah.
What if you put everybody on top?
No way!
And then had a king of the hill.
Yeah.
And just and allow people, if they get knocked off, to come back up.
Yeah.
Until there's only one guy alive.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good.
That one would be funny to allow shooting too. Like two team.
Yeah.
Actually, what would be that one?
Only HE. Only HE.
Something like that, but you would start at the spawns, and then you got to get up to the top, and just have everybody just try to climb it, shooting each other as they went.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah. All right.
So we could do that, but I'm thinking demo derby for this first one.
Demo derby.
At Malnovka in the central thing.
Yeah.
Just to kind of. And we'll just come screaming across and ram each other and go from there.
Yeah. I'll get it on Quinn's Discord as well. So if anybody because of what I've been doing is advertising the Coffee Talk on Quinn. He's allowed me to do that.
Yeah.
He's let me put this Coffee Talk stream on his Discord, so hopefully we get people in from there. So I'll put it on there that if people want to join in, because that's the UK.
Sure.
Anybody's got an NA account, it'll be a good time for them on a Sunday, 12 o'clock midday.
All right, so we'll plan on the first one, just to make it easy. It's going to be Malnovka Central Field.
Yeah.
Tier XVX, Tier 6 lights, however you want to set them up. At spawn, charge across, stay in the field. Ramming only, no shooting.
No shooting. Yeah.
So take out your ammo to save weight. I don't even know if that matters, but there you go.
Yeah, it probably does.
But otherwise, any setup you want, turbo hardening,
you're going to have
whatever.
to have your OBS. You need to have that streaming. That needs to work.
Well, yeah, we're streaming now. It'll be streamed.
Yeah. Yeah, of course you are. Yeah. I thought it was just me and you.
We should stream. We should stream one day. That would be awesome.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
How about streaming a Coffee Talk on a Sunday? What do you think?
I don't know if we're up for that, man. That seems
too much
like
faff in it.
Yeah,
too much working it out.
Yeah.
Who needs to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Pilgrim, you always come through, my friend.
Are we going now?
Yeah.
Go on, bugger off.
Leave me alone. All right.
Yeah, leave me alone.
We're gonna raid Pinty. I don't know nothing about him. Hopefully he's rapping. All right, guys. Thanks for coming by. Maybe Tuesday next week we'll have the demo derby. That'll be fun. If you want to send money for tankers helping tankers, go ahead and do so. That is all I've got from the left side of the Atlantic.
Pilgrim signing off from the correct side of the Atlantic.
See you guys.